Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day so far, and thank you again as always for just taking the time out of your day to stop by to see what I'm up to. So today's video is going to be my current beauty favorites. I haven't done a monthly favorites video in months. It's been a really long time. So I figured I would just kind of go through my collection and see what are some of the things that I've really been loving, like really loving lately, and share those things with you guys and just share why I love them and why I would totally recommend these products to you guys. So if you're interested to know what my current beauty favorites are, then just keep watching. So the very first thing that I want to talk about and share with you guys is a product that I recently saw Nikki Tutorials mention in one of her videos, and it completely intrigued me, and that was the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. Now she mentions in her video that she on a whim decided to use this bad boy as a primer before she applied her makeup and got amazing results and loved the finish, and it had such lasting power with her makeup, and I was completely sold. So I went out, I bought it, and this is literally all that I've been using. You would totally not think that a men's post-shave gel creamy product would suffice for a makeup primer, but it does wonders. So if you guys want to see a more in-depth review, a personal review with this, and if you want to see it in action, I would be more than happy to do it, because you guys, this is revolutionary. She knows her stuff. And on the topic of skin products, I'll go ahead and mention this. It is the Rose Hip Skincare Oil. I picked this up from the Vitamin Shop. This has done wonders for my face. It completely switched up my skincare routine. It's a lot more simplified now, which I think my skin really loves. And I do apologize, we live in apartments and there's remodeling going on downstairs, so if you can hear whatever that is, I do apologize. But we're gonna move on. So considering this is a oil, it does feel incredibly light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it's moving around on my face once I've applied it. Once I've cleansed my face, this is the only thing that I use to bring hydration and moisture into my face, and it has completely evened out my skin tone, got rid of a lot of discoloration in my skin, and not to mention that considering that it's winter and my skin tends to get drier, I have not had any issues with dry patches on my face or anything like that. It's just the perfect amount of moisture. I love it. So you guys know I'm all about drugstore prices but high quality results, and you guys, this did not disappoint whatsoever. And this is the e.l.f. Prism eyeshadow palette, and it is in the color Naked. These retail for about $10, but I would definitely pay more than $10 for the quality that you get with these eyeshadows. They're so incredibly pigmented. They're creamy beyond belief. I remember when I first swatched them, I did a little swatch in my hand, and after every color I was I was shocked. The quality, you guys, is outrageous. I do know that they have two other Prism palettes, but this was the only one that I found at my local Target. So you do get 6 shadows. Like I mentioned, they're all very neutral, very beautiful colors. They're all shimmery, a very shimmery metallic finish, but it very much brightens up the eyes, just makes you look awake and refreshed. So yes, this is the Prism eyeshadow palette in the color Naked. Now, keeping within the e.l.f. theme, this has also been another huge hit, in my opinion, within the e.l.f. makeup line. And that is the e.l.f. blush palette, and it is in dark. I do believe they have a light and a medium, but at my local Target they only carry the dark, which is completely okay, because I have been so obsessed with this blush palette. I mean, look at these gorgeous colors. First of all, you get so much product. I mean, the blushes are huge. The color is incredibly pigmented, very rich, easy to blend, easy to work with. These two have been my absolute favorite. What I like to do is mix these two together. It's actually what I'm wearing today, but I feel like you can totally work this blush palette any time of year. But yeah, for $6 and some odd cents, you can't beat this. You just can't. What to talk about next? Moving on to the next beauty favorite, and that is the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the color Trooper. where do I start? So last December, almost a year ago, I picked up a little travel size gift set of this liner, and it was the mascara. And I was completely unamused by it. I honestly didn't get what the hype was, but I kept seeing this product all over Instagram, in YouTube videos, and I thought, you know, I never got my eyeliner to look that good. What's going on? Maybe it was just me, maybe it was just how I was using it. But what ended up happening, I think, is that I got like a defective eyeliner because I bit the bullet. I purchased the original actual size, the full size liner, and night and day when it comes to the finish, how it applies, how easy it is to work. And this I highly recommend, and this I absolutely adore and have been loving using. It's very matte, very easy to build. I love like the felt tip applicator at the end. To me, it's just perfection. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it, and I highly recommend it to you guys. And I've really been loving it lately. So the next few products that I want to talk and mention are all highlighters, and like I mentioned in my previous video, I have been on this like highlighter kick lately. Don't know what this is, but I have been on a kick lately when it comes to highlighters. I have been just like dousing myself with highlighter and making myself look like a bright twinkly little star, and that is a-okay in my book. So the very first one is a holy grail, I feel, within the beauty community. It is the Mary Luminizer from The Balm. Everybody that I have seen apply this product to their face just makes them look like a glowing, beautiful goddess. I mean, honestly, I have not seen somebody wear this product that hasn't looked like absolute perfection. What I'm wearing today on my cheeks. The next thing is Laura Geller's Gilded Honey. Again, I mentioned this in my previous haul, and this is another highlighter, you guys, that I have seen on many different skin tones, and it just looks so stunning on everybody that I've seen it on. It's just perfection. Like, it just doesn't get any better than this. I'm gonna keep saying perfection a lot in this video, but that highlighter, you guys, is perfection. So the next highlighter that I want to talk about is actually a dupe for a much higher end highlighter. They're both purchased at Sephora, but there is a pretty significant price gap. So for weeks now, I have been just obsessing over NARS's Albatross, and I have been just back and forth whether I wanted to take the plunge and purchase it, because it is a pricey highlighter, but it's beautiful. Like, it's a yellow undertone. It's very unique, very different than anything I had in my collection. So I was thinking about putting it on my Christmas list until I was just kind of roaming around the Sephora, and I found from the Sephora brand one of their baked illuminizers, and this is in the color Stardust. And you guys, this is a spot-on dupe for NARS's Albatross. So yeah, it's still from Sephora, but it is significantly less expensive. So I highly recommend this one. If you guys have been eyeing NARS's Albatross, but you're not wanting to spend as much, check this bad boy out. So spot on. So the very first one that I want to talk about is from Maybelline, and it is in the color Touchable Taupe, which looks just like this. I'm a huge fan of these Maybelline lipsticks. I own so many of them, and I love the color of it. I think it's just very pretty, and I think it's just perfect for this time of year, and this is another one that just has been living in my purse ever since I picked it up. And last but definitely not least, my last favorite lip product is from Sephora, and it is in the color, what color is this? It just says 13. I thought I'd have a name on there, but it's what I'm wearing today. Oh my god. Probably my absolute favorite. No, it's definitely been my favorite, my go-to ever since I got it. It also lives in my purse. So considering it is a lip stain, it dries matte. It does feel a little drying if you don't put any type of like lip balm or chapstick beforehand. But if you do and your lips are nice and moisturized, this applies like a dream. And the color is just, I love it. It's just this really beautiful, rich, bold, darker brownie pink color. I actually had some spaghetti after I applied this, and Staying power is pretty spot on and very long lasting. I don't know what else to say. I've been loving it. Now, moving on to the nails. This color I also mentioned in my haul, and it's literally the only color that I have been wearing on my nails ever since I picked this up, and I got this like a month and a half ago. Again, this is that very like dusty rose, like that very muted, darker pink. It looks a lot lighter on camera than it is in real life, but it is in the color Impeccable, and it is from the Formula X line at Sephora. I have gone probably 2 or 3 times since I picked this up, and they've always been sold out. I've never seen it fully stocked since I picked it up, so I very much lucked out. But if you see it at your local Sephora, I highly recommend you guys at least testing it out on one of those clear strips so you guys can see the color. So opaque, all you need is like 1 to 2 coats. On my like smaller nails, like my pinky, I only need 1 coat, but it's so rich in color. It's nothing you have to sit there and build, nothing like that. And for that reason, I definitely feel like it's worth the $10, $11 because it doesn't play games and it lasts forever. And speaking of nails lasting forever and colors lasting forever, the Sally Hansen Mega Shine Top Coat definitely helps the lasting power of this nail polish. I can easily get away with wearing a good like 6 days or so, and then it starts to chip on me at the very like edges of my nails. All you need is 1 thick coat of it, leaves your nails super shiny, and it just looks like you just stepped out of the nail salon, which I don't mind and I totally appreciate actually. The last 4 things that I want to talk about are all like makeup applicators. So this one is from Real Techniques. It is their like sponge, flat top sponge maybe? I don't know the exact name of it. I'll have it listed below. But it's from Real Techniques. You have this edge here that's completely flat that I love to use to blend and work out my foundation. And then on the other side, it kind of has more of a point, which is perfect for blending out your concealer or blending around your nose or anywhere that you just need to get in like small little areas. This edge or this side is perfect for that. And I know it's a lot less expensive than the Beauty Blender, which I just retired for good. I'd had it for a while. It was just kind of looking like an old sad potato, so I wanted to see what else was out there. This definitely gets the job done, and like I said, it's a lot less expensive. Next, I want to talk about this fan brush from It Brushes, and they carry this line at Ulta. This is what I like to use to apply my highlight. It's so soft, and it just blends out my highlight like a dream. It just melts it into my skin, and it just makes it look incredibly seamless, because there were brushes that I would use that I would think like, oh, I'm using a really great product, but it doesn't look as good on me as I've seen it in pictures or in videos. And that's because the tool that I was using was just not the right tool. And it's taking me a really long time to realize that the tool definitely makes the world of a difference. And this has been a game changer when it comes to applying my highlight. Yeah, this has also been a little favorite of mine. I've been loving them. And the last 2 brushes that I want to talk about are these 2 babies, and they are from the Bestope line. I don't know, Bestope, I think that's how they're pronounced. I could be completely butchering their name, and if I am, I apologize. But I mentioned in my haul that I had picked up like a package of makeup brushes from Amazon, and they were like around $9, $10, super inexpensive. And I had read the reviews, and the reviews were all really great, all positive, so I gave them a try, and I was pleasantly surprised for how great quality and the results that have gone with these brushes, considering how inexpensive they were to pick up. These 2 by far are my favorites. So this one I have been using to buff out and to blend out my foundation. It's very dense, but it's still flexible and very easy to work with. It just really works the product into the skin. It feels very nice as it's being blended out. You don't really have to apply too much pressure to it. It's very easy to hold and to work, and my foundation always looks very airbrushed and just very even, and it literally has been just a toss-up between these 2. I go back and forth, and they both just give such a beautiful airbrushed finish with my foundation. And this is what I've been using to blend out my concealer. Now what I love is, if you look, the brush is slightly angled, but it just fits perfectly like within like this area, like in my inner eye, which tends to kind of get dark in there sometimes. So what I like to do is to kind of bring up the concealer up into here to really brighten up that area. And I've always just kind of patted out my concealer with my fingers just to warm up the product and to kind of blend everything out, especially up in this area. And ever since finding this brush, I haven't had to get product on my finger or anything. It just really blends everything out very beautifully, really gets into these smaller areas. But yeah, they aren't named or labeled or anything, so I will have, like I mentioned, a link below to the website or the link on Amazon, so you guys can go on there and see a breakdown of all the brushes. You guys can read reviews for yourself, and you guys can kind of do a little bit more research on them. But I've never heard of this brand before, but it has been a huge game changer in how my makeup has been applied, and I highly recommend those. Alrighty guys, well that concludes my current beauty favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if there are any favorites that you have been loving and that I didn't mention in this video that you guys would totally recommend to me, I'd love to hear what some of your favorites are. Like I mentioned, I will have a list of everything that I talked about in this video in the description box, so it'll be easy for you to find names or find places where you pick them up, so you guys can definitely go out and give them a try if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.